Good morning, everybody. Lee Brower here. Welcome to this week's edition of Meaningful Monday. I am grateful to be here and I am glad to be here. In the last 3 weeks, we've talked about how desires dictate priorities, priorities shape choices, choices determine our actions. We did an exercise last time when we said take a piece of paper and write down what do I really want. See, it starts with desires. Sometimes we don't know what we really want. So this is an exercise that opens up your creativity. And a bunch of you did this because I got good responses back from everybody. A couple of you even sent, Frank, thank you very much, actually sent me pictures of the fact that you had done it. That's just the first step. See, clarity is a process. We talked about that last time. Creativity is a process. So the idea is now to 2 or 3 times a week to do this. It takes 10 minutes. What you do is you take a piece of paper, you write on the top of it. You can't do it on your computer. Paper, write with pen. What do I really want? And then set the timer 10 minutes and go. No judgment. Just put down whatever comes down. 10 when it rings at 10 minutes, stop. And then evaluate what you've done. Take a look at it. Appreciate it. Do it a few days later, but don't look at the first list that you did. So those of you that did it last week once, do it again. Those of you that are hesitant, think about it. How many times do you waste 10 minutes in a day? You go to YouTube and away you go. 10 minutes. This will expand your vision. This is going to help you with the desires. And when you really start desires dictate our priorities. Priorities shape our choices. Choices determine our actions. All right. Now, I'm going to share a story with you. And the story goes that in 1888, Alfred's brother, Ludwig Nobel, passed away. And a French newspaper mistakenly believed that it was Alfred that passed away. So they published an obituary, and it said, the merchant of death is dead. Now, Alfred Nobel was a creator. He was a man of vision, a man of innovation. He invented dynamite to help build bridges, tunnels, cities. His work made construction safer and more efficient. That's what he wanted. That's what he wanted to be remembered by. But the obituary condemned him, condemned Alfred Nobel for inventing dynamite, profiting from weapons of war, portraying him as a man whose legacy was destruction. But, this misidentification actually gave Alfred an amazing, rare, and profound opportunity. I don't think he realized it in the moment. But to read his own obituary, think about it. Imagine if that happened to you. What would your obituary say right now if you read it? It's going to tell you how you'd be remembered. And those harsh words deeply affected him. So he made a choice in that moment that he would reshape his legacy. And 8 years later, when he did die, he had rewritten his legacy, not with words, but with action. He left his fortune to create the Nobel Prize, including the Nobel Prizes, including the Nobel Peace Prize. Now, think about that. He wanted to ensure that his name would be associated not with war, but with peace and betterment for the world. So his transformation from an inventor of explosives to a champion of peace is one of the most striking examples of intentional legacy creation. It's an idea that aligns well with what we call positive generational impact. So let me ask you, will your impact end when you end, or will it have a life of its own? Will it continue on? Will it be enduring? Will you have an enduring legacy? And I think his story is a powerful reminder that legacy is a choice, and we have the power to shape how it will be remembered. And I think that's relevant as we reflect upon our families and our businesses. I see so many businesses that start with good intentions, but then they get caught in what I call the consumption trap, rather than intentionally using their impact. What do I mean by the consumption trap? Well, let me ask you a question. When you leave this planet, would you rather be known as somebody that created more than you consumed or consumed more than you created? You know, desires dictate priorities. Priorities shape choices. Choices determine our actions. The choices we make are either a deposit or a withdrawal from our future. And in that moment, he saw himself from the outside in. It was his chance. And he made a choice. He couldn't change the past, but he could change his future ripples. So I'm going to challenge you again. Those of you that started this last time, do it again. Those of you that haven't done it, do it now. What do I really want? And fill out the page. 10 minutes, go through it. You can do it. Consider looking at it through the lens of what I call the quadrants. What do I really want in terms of what do I really want in terms of my health, my faith, my family? What do I really want? What do I want in terms of my experiences, my competencies, the things that I can learn from? What do I really want in terms of what I call arrows out, being able to give more, that contribution quadrant, being able to have more compassion? What do I really want? And what do I really want to drive financial? I want to create value. How do I want to create value? I'll be rewarded financially. So talk about the value creation. How do you see yourself creating value in this planet? Look at it through those four quadrants. And then do it not just once, do it several times and watch what happens. And we really have the opportunity when you think about it. We really, really have the opportunity that it's up to us. We don't have to wait for our obituary to start living the legacy that we want to live. We're remembered for what we give, not what we take. Let's not be consumers. Let's be contributors. Let's do this exercise. Let's share it with each other, or at least to share what it's doing for you. I'd like to know we're doing it together, right? Have a meaningful week, and we look forward to talking to you next week. Bye-bye.